everybody. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about something that's been really hard for me to process and grasp over the last month, and that is self-love and self-care. What I mean by what I've been struggling with to appreciate and to accept and to love myself is, after the wedding, I couldn't help but focus for some reason on all the possible negatives, things that could have been better, things that we could have changed. No matter how beautiful and perfect our wedding was, I couldn't help but tear it down and find any small thing to tear it down. And it was really getting to me, and then I've been really struggling with trying to see the good in everything and focus on the great things that happened at our wedding and the great things that are happening in our life right now. Today was a really fun day because it was a day that I did something completely out of my comfort zone, completely different. And this is a video not only for you guys but also for myself to look back on during the days that I want to speak down about myself, where I want to speak down about my circumstances or my life or life choices. I want to explain to you guys what self-love is and why it's important. I also want to talk about what self-love is not. What is not self-love is obviously talking down about yourself for anything. What is not self-love is making excuses for yourself. And we'll come back to that in a little bit. What is not self-love is tearing down other people's circumstances or events in order to validate your own. For instance, with our wedding, the one thing I wish there was more of was there was more dancing. There was dancing, just not enough to make it look like a party. So for example, this is a hard example because we literally went to a wedding like the next weekend, but this is like a pretend wedding. Next wedding we go to, I'm looking at it saying, well, at least my ceremony wasn't 2 hours long, so mine's better than theirs. That's not self-love. That's making excuses. That's just tearing down someone else to lift yourself up, and in the long run, it gets you nowhere. Examples of what is not self-love. What is self-love? Self-love is giving your body the nourishment that it needs. One of my self-love things that's been actually kind of difficult is I've been on Whole30, and this is like day 12 of 30, and it's been fine so far, but sorry everyone, my camera died. Anywho, like I was saying, Whole30 I became a part of because I have heard other people do it. I have had friends that have done it, and I always thought, I don't have the time or the finances or the kitchen to even pretend to do Whole30, and I'm healthy enough, like I don't need it. So now I don't have those excuses. It has been one of the most challenging but one of the most beneficial things I have done for myself, because a whole part of Whole30 is getting over this addiction to added sugars, which is in a lot of things, not in everything, in a lot of things. And so my dog is coming, one sec. One of the hardest parts about Whole30 is getting over my addiction to running to food when I'm upset. That has always been my coping mechanism. Whole30 for myself has really helped my body kind of cleanse while also getting nutrients and feeding myself and working out and not starving myself at all, but feeding my body the things that it's been longing for, but I've been too lazy to even pretend to try. So that is one of the self-love things that I have done for myself. It has been kind of a sacrifice of sugars and pizza and things like that. But this sacrifice is also a reward for my body for my mind, for my soul, because I am more focused at this point. I really do feel better about myself. My body, yes, I've lost weight, but more than that, like, it can keep up with me. My mind doesn't get tired that easily. Another thing that self-love is more than the actions. It's more than a check off the checklist. You can do meditation, you can do yoga, you can work out, you can diet, you can drink tons of water, you can journal. All great actions, but if you are thinking to yourself, I'm just doing this because everyone tells me to do it, you're just going through the steps. The self-love part of that comes when you realize that you need the help. You're going to try these actions and you're going to do your best to believe that these things are really helping. Self-love is daring yourself to say one positive thing about your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your brain. One positive thing before bed. I have heard, I'm sure you have heard, say 3 things you're grateful for as soon as you wake up in the morning. Have a gratitude journal. Like, all these things as soon as you wake up in the morning. And those are great. When I really need the gratitude is right before I go to bed. When the whole day has just weighed on me, when the whole day is coming to its close, I need that reassurance, that self-affirmation, that self-love. I hear it from my husband. He says, hey babe, you look beautiful today. Hey babe, that shirt really brings out your eyes. Like, I can hear that and that's great and I love it. But I don't truly feel it until I can believe in myself that, you know, I am worth the compliment. I mean, it sounds narcissistic. It does. But this comes from myself, who has had self-love problems, who has had an eating disorder, mental health issues of her own. And that's something that I have been working on, is self-affirmations, because I'm really hard at doing that. I'm really hard at talking positive about myself. And so saying one positive thing about my body, it might take me a couple minutes to find something and not find that one thing and tear it apart right after. It takes me some time, but it helps. Self-love is letting yourself be human and have human emotions. You do not have to be superhuman, all day, every day. I know a lot of superhumans that keep their emotions in as best they can for the situation. Teachers, co-workers, mental health clinicians, my co-workers, they are superhumans, but they're also allowed to have emotions, and they can't fully serve others until they have served themselves. Fully serve others. And that's something that in church we're preached about, is it's hard to fully forgive someone when you haven't forgiven yourself. No. It's hard to accept forgiveness when you haven't forgiven yourself. Yourself is the biggest barrier. It is. Self-love is letting yourself be human with human emotions. When you are angry, acknowledge that you're angry. Cry if you feel like you need to cry. Take 10 minutes to walk outside and get some fresh air. If you're happy during a time that bad things are going on around you, but there's something that makes you happy, don't feel bad about that one thing that brought you joy that day. Don't feel like because other people are down, you have to be down too. If you're sad, cry. If you're angry, be angry. But with that, don't let your emotions hold you down. Don't let your emotions hold you captive. Self-love is not keeping your thoughts and feelings to yourself. Self-love is not making yourself a prisoner or a victim to your own thoughts. Self-love is seeking out help, whether that be a mental health clinician, whether that be a friend, family, pastor, a coworker, anybody, saying, I'm struggling with this. And really, I mean, I do highly suggest people see a counselor. Seeking help, acknowledging that you have these emotions, letting it out, and then letting it go, which is so much easier than said. So cliche, but letting it go comes when in the midst of that emotion you have found a splinter of hope, a splinter of joy, of laughter, of calm, of peace. That splinter, that little mustard seed right there is the first step. It is a little bit of what self-love is, coming from myself, who is, still, for some reason, as great as life is, I have a husband and we just got married a month ago, still in that honeymoon phase on cloud 9, still I have moments where I'm not happy, and it could be the changing of diet that's making me really emotional, but in those moments where I'm not happy, there was a breaking point, I think yesterday, where I was crying at Caleb, not with Caleb, at Caleb, because I could not understand why I was so unhappy. Like, I don't know why I'm not happy. So doing things that you wouldn't normally do for yourself, like today, going and getting a photo shoot, or going to a photo shoot just for yourself, that was my out of the box thing that I would never thought I would do for myself. But I feel so much better about myself, about life circumstances, about marriage, anything like that. I'm human. I can have emotions, and I can be confused about my emotions. You're human too. And you can have emotions, and you can be confused, you can be angry. But do yourself a favor and don't leave it on you. Talk with somebody. Just let it out with somebody. And then don't hold on to it. Don't let your emotions hold you captive. Because when you can fully love yourself, only then can you fully and unconditionally love others. So that is just my little pep talk on self-love. And thanks for watching our channel, and yeah, signing off.